Okay, this is my third time trying to record this. I keep going off on tangents, so I'm going to try to stick to the subject. Okay, so I'm going over the past 2 weeks of June. And overall, those past 2 weeks were decent. I didn't have any bad days. I had I had some good days. I had like 2/3 of it was good. You know, what I consider good. Like, no complaints. No, nothing to really complain about online or anything like that. Did I have some mediocre days? Yes. I had some days that could have been better. And that was primarily due to the anxiety and also the muscle weakness, the joint stiffness and joint discomfort, and the inability to sleep on my own because of the anxiety. I didn't have any emotional outbursts out of nowhere. Like, I had one emotional situation, but it was because it was provoked. And it could have been avoided, but anyway, that's another subject. But I didn't like have any like outbursts for no reason, you know. So that's good. That's a plus. I didn't. I did kind of lack in energy a little bit because I wasn't maintaining my diet properly. I have not been eating as healthy as I should this past couple of weeks. And my breakfast starts out perfect. It's my lunch and my dinner that I keep screwing up. And I've been sitting too much on the couch. When I have a moment, I'll just come and sit on the couch. When I'm not doing what I need to do around the house, when I'm not doing what I need to do for my business, and when I'm not doing what I need to do online or elsewhere, I'll just kind of like sit on the couch. And normally that would be a bad idea. Normally, you know, like if I get a moment, I'm going to the gym or something like that. But these past couple of weeks have been kind of an exception because, you know, my husband is not in town, so I don't have a sitter to go and take more me time, which is AKA the gym. But also, I haven't had the energy to go to the gym or go walking too much and stuff like that. I haven't had the energy because I've been extra busy because my husband is out of town, so I don't have the extra help. And not that I'm complaining, I can totally handle this, and I'm totally in a better place than I was back in the beginning of the year. But, well, you know, it took some getting used to. So, all in all, it's been okay. There was a couple of times in the past couple of weeks where I accidentally forgot to take my sleeping pill and fell asleep on the couch or next to my son or whatever. Falling asleep next to my son is so freaking easy because he's so comfy. And he's a big cuddler, you know, so he likes that he's 14, but he likes that I sleep next to him in bed because, like, honestly, mentally he's 7, you know. I mean, he's got autism and he's a sweetie pie and everything, but he likes for mommy to, you know, like rock him to sleep and cuddle him to sleep, you know, still. So, and I'm a sucker for that too. So I'm like, okay, come on, you know, I'll like sing you something to sleep and we'll fall asleep. So there's been a couple of times where I just get so comfortable and my battery just goes and drains like around 11 o'clock. It's just like if somebody like just sucks my battery dry and I just like almost instantaneously fall asleep. And so I did that, and I'm always waking up about an hour and a half later with that fight or flight feeling. And everything I'm reading says that it's cortisol and all a product of the thyroid thing. And so I just try to do my best to say to myself in my head, Janelle, it's just chemical. It's not anxiety. Your body's just trying to heal itself. Your body's just as much trying to get past this as you are. So when that happens, I'm like, okay, you know, because I forgot to take my pill, it's probably too late. I need to, according to what is said, I need to allot myself at least 8 hours after taking that pill to have it in my system because I might get groggy and blah, blah, blah. Never the case. 6 hours and it feels like it's out of my system, you know, 5 hours, 6 hours, 6 roughly. And so At around 1:30 a.m., I'm like, I'll either go take the pill or I'll eat Rolaids because they have magnesium and the magnesium calms me down. Either way, I get at least another 4 to 5 hours of sleep and wake up. It's around 6 a.m. And just depending on what I did, if I don't take the pill, I'm my rest is doable for the day. I don't feel as much as I got hit by a truck if I didn't sleep, but I'm still going to have more aches and pains and creaks and cracks without the sleeping pill than if I did take the sleeping pill, because the sleeping pill gives me more of a steady sleep. And without it, it's more erratic and like up and down. And I've actually noticed, my heart rate is higher when I don't take the sleeping pill. So, because of the anxiety, the sleeping pill actually drops my heart rate to where it probably should be when I'm sleeping. And without the sleeping pill, my heart rate is like higher because there's more anxiousness, more cortisol release or whatever. I was reading that there's more cortisol release when we're sleeping, which would totally make sense why we have the dreams that we do, and less during the day. So the past couple of weeks, there were a few days after menstruation, like at the latter end of menstruation, where anxiety was getting up there. Definitely not its maximum peak that it's been, but to the point to where I'd get the little mini tremors, especially in my jaw. So I would be feeling anxious and I'd get on the couch and I'd just like go like that, because if you've ever seen somebody that's having a panic attack, they're like shaking like this. Well, it doesn't take much for me to do that. I mean, I could be nowhere close to a panic attack and I'll just my jaw will just start chattering. And I started thinking about it. I don't know if this is true or not, so don't quote me, but if I'm already having muscle shakiness, who's to say that my jaw is disqualified from that, So I started noticing that my neck muscles were beginning to shake as well. So maybe that's all it was. Maybe I'm just having the muscle shakiness in my jaw too. Either way, it's not fun. It's very, very annoying, very inconvenient. But is it better than it was? I don't know. Like, if I want to give you a mental picture, I feel like in the beginning it was peaks, valleys, peaks, valleys, peaks, valleys, sputter here, sputter there, like a painter that's doing like those splash paintings here and there and sporadic and all over the place and doing just like all these different designs on the canvas. And this past month it feels more like he's painting an ocean. Smooth waves, smooth strokes. There's still a couple of there's still a couple of brush strokes that are a little sporadic, but it's more of a smooth, steady picture. So that's what this month feels like. That's what these past couple of weeks feel like. It feels like there's kind of like a predictable amount of chemical and hormone that's being produced, as opposed to before when it was just like a sputtering car and erratic. So something feels like it's getting better, like it's happening, like it's becoming more, like I said, like a pattern, but it's still healing slowly. So I told myself that I have a follow-up with the endocrinologist in October, and I already tried making an appointment before and they wouldn't. And I'm going to talk to her about, okay, so if I'm still having like decent symptoms in October, or something happens and I start having more symptoms or whatever in October, I'm going to ask her for a permanent solution, because if this has been going on since the end of January all the way to October, something needs to happen. So something needs to be corrected, and we need to get the ball rolling, because I cannot keep it's very hard to complain right now, because I am grateful that I'm in a decent place right now. I'm very grateful that my body is healing. But if my body is having difficulty getting to a homeostasis and I need some kind of intervention, then I'm going to do it. So in a couple of days, I'm actually going to try to talk to a nutritionist and talk to them exactly about what problems I'm having. Weight gain, I mean, it ain't what it used to be. Weight gain is so much easier right now. And the fullness in the face and all of that, it's really annoying. So the hair, I forgot to mention, the hair is beginning to come out easier. And I'm not afraid of that, because I've had that in the past. I actually had big bald spots in the past from hair loss, probably from the birth control. They said it was from stress, but I guarantee you it was from the birth control. I'm not afraid of the hair falling out, but the hair has been coming out more. And I have been getting more and more facial hair. It's kind of at a standstill right now, but it's like growing back way quicker and way faster. But yet falling out from the top of my head. And muscle recovery after my workouts has been about 2 times longer than it normally was prior to this whole ordeal. And energy levels are a little low this past couple of weeks. Let me see what else. Oh, the food thing. So I ate a Caesar salad, and I got the burns on my tongue. It looks kind of like little white lines on my tongue. I got it after eating watermelon. Watermelon doesn't even have anything in it. So it made no sense why I would get it after eating watermelon. My sister said maybe it's preservatives, like that chemical preservative that's doing it to you. And I was like, I don't know, maybe. That did it. The Caesar salad did it. And of course, I ate something fried, and I ate it with ketchup, so probably the ketchup did it too. I've already known that I have a sensitivity to ketchup, to beef, and to citrus for the longest time. So it's almost kind of like any foods that fit under that category. When I'm going through this, and it seems to only last maybe like a week. When I'm going through this, it's like the foods that I was normally aggravated by are amplified. So that was another inconvenience. But not like I didn't like vomit, or I didn't like swell up, or I didn't have major like stomach pain or like that. It was just like, it felt like burnt tongue. Like when you eat too much pineapple and your tongue feels like acidically burnt, that's what it felt like. And it looked like I had little white lines on my tongue. Look up geographic tongue, you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks really scary, but it's essentially just a citric burn. But those are my only complaints, and it sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much. And considering that all I'm taking is a prenatal fish oil and a sleeping pill, that's all I'm taking. And I normally took prenatals anyway. I normally took multivitamins anyway and fish oil anyway. So the only thing that's changed is I changed a multivitamin to a prenatal. And now I'm taking, instead of taking CBD to go to sleep, now I'm taking the temazepam. So, it's getting better. And there was 2 nutritionists that uploaded a video on YouTube, and I'm horrible with names right now, but they'll be the first ones to pop up when you search Mirena Crash. And one of which, she was going through what I'm going through, and when they uploaded the video, it had been like her 3rd month or so. So I messaged the nutritionist that interviewed her and asked her how's she doing. And she's like, oh, she's actually doing really great, you know, like, you should go check her out. Like, she has a video testimony on my page, so I checked it out. And yeah, I mean, she seems to be doing much better. But her issue was emotional outbursts, and it was mainly emotional, and she was like going through depression. So that's not the case for me. Mine's just all mainly anxiety when it comes to the emotional part. Um, and I checked her Instagram, and yeah, she's eating healthy like crazy. And I mean, she was anyway, is very active, and she's out and outdoors and hiking and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're feeling better. I'm glad that this thing didn't impact you to the point to where your life was in shambles. Your life was crumbled, you know. So, I mean, all the women that I'm seeing, I mean, they get over it, or they find a solution, or they, you know, they survive through it, and they make the best of their situation, and um they get through it somehow. They usually do. And there are some women that are permanently scarred, but those are kind of fewer. So anyway, well, that's my update for. Oh yeah, and I'm a whole lot more greasy on my scalp. I'm getting like these pimples on my scalp that kind of hurt. It's only a few. It's like one here, one at the nape, one here, and then one at the nape, and it happens usually right before a period. So it's almost kind of like acne, sort of, kind of, but on my scalp, which is the oiliest part of my face. You know, my head. But yeah, other than that, everything's like it seems like it's leveling out. And it seems to be it's like dissipating and leveling out and becoming more predictable. So I'm hoping that next month it's even less, and even, you know, more predictable. So like from here on out, if I'm to expect like some kind of PMS or something, I'm okay with that. Or if I'm supposed to expect some kind of like PMDD or something, I'm okay with that. I just want the anxiety to go away. You know, I want it to allow me to sleep at night. I want it to just completely be non-existent and be a non-issue when I'm sleeping at night. Or just like in general, like, who wants anxiety? I can deal with the other aches and pains. Totally deal with it. It's just the freaking anxiety. I want it gone. So, I'm sorry I look so rough right now. I have no excuse. I just haven't been taking care of my face. But that's it for now. And for those of you that actually do watch this, thank you for watching. I know they're long-winded videos and they're very boring, but it also helps me to keep track of how far I've come. And for any of you who are following this and going through the Mirena crash, just stick it through. You know, this is your life. This is your journey, and by removing the device, I mean, I'm just by default, you're going to be more healthy with it out of your body than in your body. Or if you're stopping birth control, you know, you're likely going to be more healthy without it than with it. Yeah, sure, you might get pregnant, but your body's going to be less under attack without birth control. Do what you want, but I'm just saying that's just my opinion. So I'll see you guys next time.